Alright guys, so before we go ahead and start off, you want to make sure that the truck has been off for at least an hour to avoid any kind of error codes with the sensors whenever you remove them. So you're going to remove these push rivets off of the truck. It's about 12 up front and then 2 in the far back. So let's go ahead and pop those things out. Alright, now that after we remove these push rivets out, we're going to go ahead and remove this out the truck. And as soon as you take it off, you're gonna remove these two bolts that are on each side, just one and one, and it's a 10 millimeter. So let's go ahead and pop this off and take those other nuts off, well, bolts off. All right, so now after removing these two bolts out, we're gonna go ahead and remove these screws that are securing these two sensors to the air intake. And that will be a T20. Now we're going to go ahead and remove both sensors off. And you're going to also disassemble from here. So let's go ahead and remove them from here. And then from there, you're going to pop this off as well using one of these, which is right here. Like that. All right, using a 8 millimeter, we're gonna go ahead and remove this from the turbo. All right, now that we have taken all of this off, we can actually remove everything. We should be able to remove everything together out. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're gonna take both gaskets and covers, whatever you want to call these right here, and put them into here and install them over here. They come with their both screws and everything, so let's go ahead and do that.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright guys, so you're going to take this gasket and this clamp right here, we're going to put it over here, put it onto here, and then tighten this thing up. Now we're going to install this bracket right here using these screws from the back side and screw it on using a 12 millimeter. Now we're going to go ahead and install a silicone seal into the air box. Make sure that this lip right here is inside and this one is outside. After installing that, we can go ahead and drop this in there and tighten it up. I heard that this is like the most hardest part, but let's go ahead and do it. Okay guys, so now that we have the filter inside of there, we're gonna go ahead and put this air, the intake inside of there, but we're not gonna tighten up the filter at all. And we're gonna put these grommets that they gave us. So one goes over here. So we're gonna go put one in here. If I can actually get it in there. You want us to do let's do this one up here. One right there. Another one right here. And then this one goes right here, but this one's a pain in the butt, so I'll do it in a little bit. Okay, so just make sure that this grommet is facing down, not upwards. The fat round piece is facing down towards the screws. And then at this point, if you want to, you can install this, it's like a cover that goes right here. And from what I've heard is that if you take this off, you can hear the turbo more. But technically, you should use this, like where I live at, I live in Florida, so I should be using it, but I'm gonna test it out to see how it is without it. I mean, I don't really tow as much. I do tow here and there. I tow like a E35 mini excavator, a T595 Bobcat, skid steer, and some other trailers with form boards in there. But for right now, this purpose of the video, we're not gonna put this in here, but if you want to, you can. People that live up north where it's more colder, you don't really need this because it's actually cool over there, but here in Florida it's really hot, so I would recommend putting it in there. But you know what, who cares? Let's listen to a turbo. And now what we can go ahead and do is install this in first, so let's go ahead and do that.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright, so we kind of got it in there. It kind of took me a while. So what I ended up doing, I took out the air filters you saw, and then I pushed this in there. Then I kind of lifted this up towards the truck, towards the front of the truck, and then I slipped this thing back in there, because or not, you wouldn't be able to get that in there. So just make sure you do that. And now what we're going to go ahead and do, install this air scoop gasket right here, and it's going to go in just like this. So now you're going to remove this from the old box, and there's like two clamps, one right here, and two on the other side as well, and it pops right off. And make sure you tighten up your air filter at this point, and after that, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to tighten up the one that goes to the turbo. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten up these two bolts that we had right here for the air scoop. All right, just for information, whenever you put this back in there, I know it says to tighten it up, put this in there, but make sure that you double check this, because this one is a pain in the butt putting it back in. Apparently that this shouldn't be touching the air box or something like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab a zip tie and like kind of zip tie it to here. But I had it kind of pushed out a little bit more towards that side, towards the engine. And what I did, I loosened it up over there, and then I kind of shifted it this way, and that gave me the better clearance for this right here, and also to install it, because it was a pain in the butt. Make sure that there's an arrow on this is pointing towards the turbo as well, because if you don't, it won't, obviously when you put this in there, it only goes in one way, so you can't screw that one up. And then this, it will be at a really weird angle, like I said. But after that, then you can go ahead and tighten that up. And now what we're gonna do, and also make sure you readjust this right here. I had to readjust it. So now what I'm gonna do is put the cover back on right now, pull all the rivets in there, and then we'll move on to putting the final touch to the puzzle. All right. And the best way that I figured out to put this back in here is folding this in here first, and same thing on the other side. So, yep. All right, final piece, guys. We're gonna go ahead and take off this right here. This is that plastic trim, and yeah. So the way how this works is that this end right here is gonna go in like that, right where this tab is at. So let's go ahead and remove this. Sorry guys, we're gonna put it in here, right where this tab is at. just like that, and then just squeeze it on in like that. All right, guys, so here it is. We have it installed. I don't know how much I like this right here because it's kind of flimsy, but it is what it is, I guess. We'll find out. Also, make sure you guys send out an email whenever you purchase this. Whenever they sent me this, I did ask them if I was getting their 3rd gen, because there's like 3 different styles. The first one, which, you know, the first one they made, then the second one, and the 3rd one. And I did hear there was like some kind of problems with the check engine light popping up, and usually it comes out with this intake tube right here. But as of right now, they say I have the latest and the greatest, so hopefully we don't have no problems. Obviously, you guys know that I got the one that's pre-oiled, not the dry one. So let's see how this goes. Usually right now, when I'm driving, I'm getting probably 19.6 on highway, not towing. In the city, usually I get between 16 and 17, I would assume. And then obviously on highway, maxed out, I get 19.5. If I'm towing, I realized I was getting probably about 14.5, and that was with a E35 mini excavator from last time. So as of right now, guys, thank you guys for watching. I catch you guys on for the next video, and hopefully the next video will be probably driving around, see what it sounds like, and just having my personal opinion. Usually about every single week I put about I don't know, 1,000 miles to the truck, 1,500, I don't know, we'll find out. But I'll catch you guys after the next video. Peace.